What's going on? Welcome to the 5-Minute Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Colton Olson, and on this podcast, we spend about 5 minutes, I say about 5, give or take a couple sometimes, breaking down and teaching you to apply psychological concepts that world-class athletes, CEOs, coaches, and elite military units use to take their performance to the next level. The key word here is apply. I don't want you to come here and just get a bunch of information and not know how to use it. I want you to leave here every day feeling like you have something in your hands that you can use right away to improve your life. Let's get to it. All right, welcome back, or welcome to 5-Minute Mindset. We are back here today with episode number 2 in our short Acres of Diamonds series. So if you didn't listen to the previous episode, where I actually read the story and go through some of the history of Acres of Diamonds, definitely go back and check that out so you can have a little more context for this episode and have a feel for the story and what actually goes on. But just a quick recap, in case you forgot, or if you just don't want to go back and listen. Acres of Diamonds was a speech that was given by a guy named Russell Conwell over 6,000 times in the late 1890s, early 1900s. It's the foundation for a lot of the work he did in Philadelphia, where he was a super impactful guy. So the speech generally tells this story of a man who became obsessed with the idea of finding diamonds and getting rich off of those diamonds. So he becomes obsessed, he hears about these huge diamond mines out there in the world, and he decides he's going to sell all his possessions, he's going to leave his awesome farm in Persia and go hunting these diamonds. And what happens is, in his pursuit of these magnificent, valuable diamonds where he's going to create all his wealth, he ends up losing all his money, all his possessions, and becomes so upset and discontented with himself that he ends up drowning himself in the ocean. So that guy ends up dying. His name is Ali Hafed, and then someone comes to purchase Ali Hafed's farm and ends up finding acres of diamonds on that farm. So what happened was Ali Hafed left his farm in pursuit of diamonds when in fact there were acres of diamonds just below his feet. So, in the story, that Ali Hafed's farm is the place where the diamond mines of Golconda is located, which is a real place where it's like the biggest and most valuable diamonds in the world have been harvested. So, again, remember, this speech was given when the people of Philly believed there was nothing left for them in their own city, right? They believed the markets were all tapped out, there was no money or success to be had in Philly, and they needed to go searching far and wide to find success. And much like our own Ali Hafed in this story, who went searching far and wide for diamonds, instead of digging where his feet were, the people of Philly were at risk of doing the same thing. So that's when Russell Conwell started giving this speech, and he wanted people to understand that there might be success for them somewhere else. There could be great things going on elsewhere, but you can't forget to dig where your feet are, right? And I think the moral of this story, the moral of this speech is really pretty simple, and it's that the grass isn't always greener somewhere else. It's really easy to get caught up in this idea, that finding success or just being happier would be easier if we lived somewhere else, we worked for a different company, if we were born in a different place, if we had a better salary, a different boss, or were put in a position of leadership. It always seems better somewhere else. It always seems like the newer circumstance could be better. The grass almost always looks greener, but it often isn't. Sometimes it is, and it's great when we figure that out. But it's often an illusion that's fueled by a couple things, right? Usually it's fueled by people around us who are bitter, unhappy, not content with their circumstances, and they don't understand what's going on in your life, so they'll kind of surround you with that chatter. But it's also fueled by this human tendency to associate new with better. We always think the newest thing, the next thing is going to be the best thing, right? Whatever we have now, it's not as good as what we're going to have in the future, right? So it's easy to get caught up there. We have that tendency, and our lifestyle now really plays into that. So we got to be careful. I mean, I've run into a lot of people, and I've done it myself, where it's like, as soon as I get that job, I get married, I get that house, I get a new car, I get whatever. Once I do the next thing, my life will be better. The grass will be greener once I get there. Not always true. If you want to change, or if you think there's a better life for you somewhere else, that's fine, but we got to remember to check where our feet are first. We can't forget to dig in our own backyard, because we could be unknowingly standing on acres of diamonds. There could be great things for us right here, and we're just going to forget about them and not even give it a chance because we think there's something better out there. So to wrap this up, I've got 3 things I want you to take away from Acres of Diamonds. This story, an influential story. So first, we have to understand that new isn't always better. Our modern lifestyle has us wired to crave change and novelty, right? We love that quick dopamine hit we get when we see something new, something nice, the next thing, right? That's how social media works. It's something new like every half second. It gives us that quick dopamine hit. So we have to understand that our life likely isn't going to be significantly better because we get the next thing. It's okay to be where we are. It's okay to be where your feet are right now and live in that and make that place great. So you got to understand that new isn't always better. Second, the ability to dig where you are and find opportunity in your own backyard is absolutely a superpower. So everyone around you is looking to leave. They're looking to find the next thing as soon as they can. And you might be tempted to do the same thing. But remember, if nobody's looking where you are, then all the opportunity there is yours. If everyone's looking somewhere else to find success, you can just look where your feet are and create a bunch of opportunity and success right in that place. So develop that power. And third, be aware of the people in the chatter around you. Like I said, this desire to change and move can be fueled by chatter around us. And there might be a lot of people telling you these things. You need to leave. You're not valued here. You need to quit. You need to go try something else, or you need to come with me, right? And they might be right sometimes, and you need to be aware of your circumstances. But there's a good chance they're just trying to validate the decisions that they are making or have already made and just want you to join their little party. So keep the right people around you. Keep the ones right next to you that are going to help you dig where you are at first and then support you if you need to move on. So be aware of the people. So that's all we got for Acres of Diamonds. Like I said, a short series, 2 episodes, but hopefully this story is impactful for you. It speaks to you a little bit because I think it's as relevant now as it was in 1890, which is hard to believe, but there really is nothing new around here. So don't be afraid to dig where you are. You might be sitting on Acres of Diamonds. All right, that's all we got for today. If you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and I'll see you back here next time on 5 Minute Mindset.